Hi, people. Oh my god, my arm just went all the way through my hat.
It did.
Ooh. That's right. You heard it here first, folks. Our guest this week is Lamar, and he doesn't have arms.
Yeah, I lost him in the war. Which one? Who knows?
That one over there with the people.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
With the people in the pew-pews.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody. Don't ask me how I ended up in Australia, but somebody tried to beat an emu using me, and it didn't work out for either of my arms.
Not the emu.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I'm also 93 apparently.
What? That's crazy.
You're old.
Anyways, we're back again this week with a new guest appearance. We have Lamar with us today, who is all around an interesting character.
This is true.
Out of all the ways,
tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, say it.
Just
can you really refute it though, Lamar?
An interesting character is so non-specific and so specific at the same time.
Exactly. Gotta keep them on your toes.
That is accurate.
I mean, they're gonna get a feel for how you are. So.
Oh God, they are. And what's a digital footprint?
A footprint on the computer. It's what happens when you step on your computer when you rage quit Valorant after being banned for a year.
Now, hold on. So now the world gets to know.
Lamar's banned from Valorant for a year, everybody.
Yeah, because they can't run their game correctly. And if this somehow ends up anybody from Riot hearing this, that's your ass. That's crazy. I bought a set that day.
Oh my god.
And I got banned for a year.
Wow.
Wait, you bought the... Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's really crazy to have it be that long too.
And people
it was a month last time, and then he got it overturned, and now it's a year.
People have been complaining.
Is there no way you can appeal it? That it was the game?
I'm just never gonna play that game again. Is what's gonna happen.
I don't believe you fully, but okay.
I can't do it no more. Talk
you
to me.
You just bought a set though.
We just started playing Sea of Thieves again. We're gonna be doing some more content warning.
Probably gonna play some Destiny because I peer pressured Lamar into downloading that.
I have been successfully peer pressured.
Mm-hmm.
Sigh.
All of these games of which y'all can see on our Twitches.
Yeah.
Linked below.
Links in the description.
I am? Oh my god.
I'm so glad you made that joke.
I am super interesting and funny, but I don't do any of the things, so there will be nothing from me.
That's okay. You guys can find Lamar on our streams.
Exactly.
That's true.
All right. We're going to go super old school this week, you guys. We're going to do something we haven't done since our very first episode.
The olden days.
We're going to dig up some Am I the Asshole stories again. And we have another opinion as to whether or not people are actually assholes, which there are a lot of people that are assholes in this world. And in these stories, it's just not usually the person that posted them.
Right. Yeah. Because most of the time, people who act like an asshole aren't going to think that they've done anything wrong.
Yeah, no. And that's what makes the ones that are bad worse, that they're just so... You just explain 3 hate crimes and a federal crime.
Oh,
and possibly a breach of international law. And then you're like, am I the asshole? Yes.
So speaking of hate crimes,
yes, you are.
I can't believe this person did this. It says, am I the asshole for not buying my wife a horse? I can't believe it. How dare you, sir or ma'am, not buy your wife a horse?
Dude.
Literally sounds like my
wife.
That's crazy.
That's bare minimum. Come on.
Exactly.
If you're not buying your horse,
if you're not buying your a horse, you heard it here first, folks. Straight from Serafina's mouth.
I am screaming. Oh my god. I fucking cannot.
Good lord.
Okay, let me try that again. Hold on. If you don't buy your wife a horse, do you even love her?
If you don't buy your wife a whore, bro.
If you don't buy your whore
A wife. Do you even love her?
Like, come on.
It's bare minimum shit
It's
here.
4th grade SpongeBob.
No, this is Patrick.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
No.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Anyways.
Please share.
Okay, so
what was the title again?
Am I the asshole for not buying my wife a horse?
Okay,
I work in an intense, unfulfilling job 6 days a week. My wife has not had a paying job since we got engaged 16 years ago. Whoa. 7 years ago, I quit my quote-unquote change the world job, which paid little but conferred distinction and a sense of doing what is what is right.
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Link's just reading it, okay?
I just work
Basically,
here.
he quit. I quit my old job, which paid very little, for an awful job that I hate, but pays 10 times as much.
Yeah,
that's the gist of that sentence that I don't understand.
How it goes.
Anyways, my wife enthusiastically supported, indeed urged, my job change to the higher paying job. For a while, I held it all in. Right? But over time, particularly recently, I've told her clearly that this job is leading me to an early grave. It is awful, the people and crap I deal with every day. It is immensely stressful and not rewarding in the least. But of course, as the pay rolled in, our standard of living increased, and the amount we spend each month is eye-watering. What a way to describe a bunch of way that you spend money is eye-watering. Makes me
eye-watering. Sounds poetic.
Right? Last night at a cocktail party with my friends, my wife got drunk and on the way home tearfully told me that I just don't understand her and what she truly needs to feel fulfilled is a horse.
Wow.
Sorry.
What?
Oh my god. The one thing missing from my life, the only thing I need, it's a horse.
Not the love and support of a spouse. Right? None of that.
Oh my god. We
Give
know
me a
many
Mustang
people with
and I'm not
horses,
talking a car.
Right? Yeah, for real. We know many people with horses. After a few questions where she kept replying that this horse or that horse, quote unquote, wasn't good enough for her, our discussion devolved into shouting. I view this as a pretty simple thing. I want to go back to a job I like someday. I'd like to reduce our spending so I don't need to work until I'm 80. My son wants to visit Madagascar.
Okay.
What?
Kid's got
Why
goals.
Is his family like this?
Bruh, I want to go to Madagascar. There's a bunch of lemurs there. No, I want to meet King Julian.
I'm not saying that it's not a great goal to like want to go somewhere, but like this family just seems like greedy. I know. Shit.
Yeah, wild and all.
My point is that people's wants, practical, not working until I'm 80 in an awful job, or impractical, visiting Madagascar, are often placed aside. Also, FYI, I don't have any hobbies, so it's not like I'm spending money on cars or something and then telling her that she can't. I should add that we live in the suburbs of a big city. We do not have a backyard where a horse can graze. We would need to first buy a special breed of horse she demands for tens of thousands of dollars, pay for feed, veterinary, stable, insurance, etc. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. Another stone in my backpack, basically guaranteeing that I will never be able to do anything else. I view this as her saying in so many terms, well, I want to be fulfilled, but I don't give a shit about your stress and fulfillment. Am I the asshole for not buying her a horse?
No, not at all.
No.
Bruh. This bitch is crazy.
Like, to put it simply, you got horse money? Like, what?
It's crazy. For
you to be like, for there to have not been like, hey, you need to communicate a little bit better. Hey, you work too much or whatever. No, we went from point A to point horse.
Right.
Oh my god. Okay.
She's just crying like, you don't even know me.
You don't even understand my struggles. All I need is a horse and it'll fix all my problems.
But like, girl, what problems do you have? Your husband is literally taking care of you and like.
Okay, hold on though, because I need to tell you the first comment on here. It says, lifelong horse girl here. Your wife is correct. You don't understand. People fortunate enough to be born without a horse obsession will never understand. The joy of
This
just
can't
watching
be
them hang out in the pasture is inexplicable to anyone not afflicted. My whole life, I loved horses and have the privilege of owning several. It broke my heart when they passed, but I'll never stop wanting horses in my life.
How many
Wow.
passed
Okay,
at such a
then
frequency?
right, and then also like okay, she can go to like a horse farm or like
Also,
Yeah.
that
somewhere that
sounds like. Oh, sorry.
Granted, this okay. I know that like the first paragraph of this set, like I don't know the way that it's probably just the way that I read it. It sounded like this person was, well, like judging the original poster and saying that he is an asshole, but they're not. They're saying that um, being a horse girl is a sickness, and people that were fortunate enough to not be born with a horse obsession kind of thing. So she said that said, you should not buy your wife a horse. Um, you didn't say anything about her current involvement with horses. Is it a whim? Has she ever been on a horse, taken lessons, had a horse growing up? Owning a horse is a huge commitment.
Ah,
So
okay.
like this person is like using their knowledge and experience as a lifelong horse girl.
Lifelong horse girl really like
that's
factory reset
wild.
my brain.
Agreed.
Right?
I was like, you admit that to people?
Right?
Yeah.
Bold.
That's a shame that you should that should have to be unearthed. Like you should have to do some research to find out that.
Yeah, for real. Okay, I
Yeah,
found
no,
it
not
that
a bunch of these people are just like, yeah, divorce this person and go do a job that you actually like doing.
Okay, so that's the problem with these articles. Like, and the comments that people put on it. Like, you can get a snapshot of somebody's situation and be like, yeah, divorce them. But in this case, I feel that not no to divorce, but like, you might need a therapist. Like,
Yeah, one of the comments said
legitimately.
that too.
Like, that's like wild, especially if this like wasn't a thing before. Like no ha ha he he a little bit, but like
just a little.
she might need help. So maybe not an immediate divorce and leave your life partner before finding out if they've lost their marbles or not.
Yeah. I just think it's like when you like for being married that long and not having a job and everything like that and pushing him for more money and then also being like, "Oh, I know you work really hard and all this stuff, but can I have more, please?" Like
Yeah,
if you want
which
to make
is
it
like
Yeah.
happen, that's totally fine, but like that's a lot, especially when he's gone to her and has been like, "This is really like taxing for me. It's really difficult for me."
you probably like I'm not even saying like you need to like pull up with tens of thousands of dollars of horse money, but like you gotta have a plan at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, true.
Because if it's like a I forgot the word, like a stereotypical like husband wife relationship and like both parties are okay with that, and that's the like you're trying to do the whole provider and protector thing because I guess that's what the world tells you to do. That's like part of this is on you for like allowing that. But also be reasonable.
Yeah.
But a lot of people find being reasonable very hard.
Yeah, extremely
Yeah,
difficult.
most people are not reasonable. They're assholes.
I like to
It's
think I'm
crazy.
sometimes pretty unreasonable.
I'm only unreasonable when it's warranted.
Fair.
Yeah, some people honestly deserve it.
Fair. Well, I found this story. Um, it says, "Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law that I don't want her here because my baby hates her?" Which is crazy.
Um,
Um,
well,
that oh, that one's so extreme that
I mean,
I feel like it's a bait and
yes and
switch.
no. Like I understand if your like young child is like always like screaming or whatever at a specific person, you may not necessarily want that person around all the time. But like,
Mm-hmm.
it really depends on the context and like, is this like an everyday kind of thing? Is it like a, oh, like you can't be here while I'm like in like the evening times when I'm trying to get my kid to sleep or whatever kind of thing, or like or just like, I don't know.
Ooh.
Link, you basically guessed it. That I'll just read it, but it's specifically the mother-in-law. So 26 female. I've been with my husband since we were 14, and we just had a baby 10 months ago. I've always gotten along with my mother-in-law. She's a very sweet woman who would literally take the shirt off her back to make sure that I'm okay. I love this woman tremendously, but for whatever reason, every single time she has come over to see the baby, my daughter screams bloody murder the entire time she's here. She doesn't do this with anyone else. But literally the second my mother-in-law walks through the door and my daughter sees her, she is in my ear screaming, hyperventilating, and inconsolable. It's literally been like this since she was born. My mother-in-law first visited when she was 4 days old, and it was the same thing then. We've never been super cautious about having people over to see our daughter, but like I said, she's not like that with anyone else. Like some people, she doesn't want touching her, but she never cries. My mother-in-law is just the polar opposite. She has been able to successfully hold her once without her screaming, but it was when she was holding her face away from her, and my husband was entertaining her to keep her distracted. My
Oh my
mother-in-law
god.
comes over once a week, and honestly, I've just started completely dreading her coming here at all because I'm not kidding. My daughter screams the entire time, and sometimes my mother-in-law doesn't leave for a couple of hours. It's not fun for anyone involved. Well, she came here yesterday, and my husband is starting to get irritated by the fact that our daughter refuses to warm up to his mother because she's been a huge part of our lives. So he suggested that she start coming here more often than she
Oh,
already does now to basically attempt to force the
Oh my
bond.
god.
Yeah.
that I
It's
So,
crazy.
did it say how old the kid was?
They just had her 10 months ago.
yeah, the baby
Okay.
knows vibes. Something's off.
But it's what's I find it hilarious that the kid uh wasn't screaming the one time that she was holding it, when she's
Her
holding it
dad was
facing
distracting.
away.
I
Like
With
know.
the
it's like
dad distracting is
it's like
crazy.
Put a paper
bitch,
bag over her
there's
head.
something wrong with your
Literally.
face then. Like
Yeah, honestly,
oh my god.
there's something wrong with your spirit. Like,
Yeah.
Right, because like
Maybe
kids and animals, they can like they
sense
see
things.
dead people, man.
Maybe
Like
grandma has like a horrible spirit
maybe
attached to her.
grandma's not
and
really grandma.
Oh
I don't
no.
ooh,
know.
and like no matter what you say, like in some roundabout way, there is a reason that a child is crying. Like it's
Oh
not
my
Mm-hmm.
just gonna
god.
be for literally no reason.
Have you
Yeah.
guys seen The Visit?
No.
No, is that a horror
Just
movie?
it yeah. I don't usually watch horror movies, but I was forced into going to the theaters to see this one. It actually ended up it was okay. But like just reminding me of that because like these kids go to their grandparent, like get dropped off at their grandparents or whatever, but then their grandparents are not actually their grandparents. They're some just like random people, and the grandma has like uh I don't know, like lupus or some shit, and like she's like possessed at night or whatever. She's like running around the
Like when
house
you get
like
lupus.
naked and like scratching up the doors. Um
Oh God.
and like it was disturbing to say the least.
Yeah.
Um and yeah. So I don't know why that just reminded me of that.
All right, let me continue. It's a bit of a lengthy one, but let's see what else happens. She says, I personally know it doesn't work like that to try and force the bond. I mean, if the bond was going to happen right now, it would have already. She simply does not like my mother in law. I thought maybe it was the perfume my mother in law wore, so she stopped wearing perfume, but that did nothing. I told her to not wear any jewelry to see if that helped, but again, it did nothing. I've even had her put her hair up, thinking maybe my daughter was getting overwhelmed but not being able to see her face completely, and that actually made it worse.
No way. Whoa. No way. This lady's ugly. This lady's ugly. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'll say it. She's busted. For a being with no object permanence to be disturbed by your visage,
Yeah.
you're cooked.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I've told
god.
her to stop baby talking her because she has a very high pitched baby talk voice.
Is this the Baba Yaga? Like,
But her
I'm
but her
sorry.
normal voice didn't calm the baby down either. And
Oh my god. Like,
Oh,
just go.
it
Please,
gets
just
worse
get
and
out.
worse with every, like, they're like
You can
tech
come
troubles.
back when she's like 4. I don't know.
Like,
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know. They're like tech troubleshooting this baby hating her. Like,
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Like, is
God.
everything plugged in?
I'm telling you, paper bag, man. Just
Yeah,
paper
honestly,
bag
at
over
this
the
point, what
head.
else do you do?
Just like tape
Yeah.
a picture of like the kid's mom's face on the paper bag and plug it
That's
around the grandma.
awful.
Like,
Look, it's
So-
mommy.
Oh
And she
my
still
God.
cries.
I know, right? She's like, that's not the voice. And honestly, I'm exhausted and fed up with trying. I don't think we should try. I think we need to let it go and let it form naturally. She will warm up to her eventually in her own time. But my husband is basically just not okay with it, all because my mom came here to see us for the first time last month. She lives in the UK, and traveling to us is hard for her.
Okay, but follow-up question. Did she pop a baby out of her hoo-ha recently? Because, like, you coming from from wherever and her having a whole ass baby that is hers might one of these things might scale differently.
wait, what?
What? Yeah, I'm
No,
confused too.
I just don't think that he should be able to say like, oh, because she
Oh,
came
about
all
the
the way down
husband.
here, like I popped a baby out. What do you mean she should get to make my baby scream and cry every
yeah.
day?
Right. And like, you don't,
Because
yeah, you don't get to be frustrated with your baby who literally can't explain themselves at this point.
Right?
And then also turn around and be like, we should force the
Turn
bond
around
harder.
yell at the potato. How dare you?
like
Right?
that's concerning for like you dealing with this child
Yeah,
in
and
general.
like so babies can't really communicate with us, so obviously they cry. They
Yeah.
I mean,
To
that
try and-
baby is telling them something.
yeah, and I'm like, I think the mom's right with me, like, let it go for like a couple months and see if something
Right?
changes. Where like, but like forcing it every single week and then continue like trying to force it more sounds very destructive to the baby.
Yeah.
Like
I
obviously
don't-
this is kind of
100%.
traumatizing if you're screaming for
Right?
hours.
That woman's
Yeah.
face is traumatizing.
um
And like that
we are the
like,
assholes.
we are, yeah.
You guys.
hey, listen. I wasn't born with that face, she was.
Right? It's not my fault that you're ugly. I'm sorry.
So she said
Jeez.
the daughter immediately loved the OP's mom who flew in, loved her immediately and didn't want her to set her down. So my husband felt slighted about it. And as I said, he wants his
You
mom
have
to
the
come
The
here
kid
more.
likes your mom. God.
Not my
You
mom.
You have beef with your newborn daughter.
Oh my god. And the daughter's winning.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And yeah, and then he said he wants his mom to come there more. That's
Imagine
wild.
losing an argument to a 10-month-old.
Right?
Like, imagine having a 10-month-old bruise your ego that badly.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that when you walk away, they think that you don't exist anymore. You're beefing with that.
Oh my god.
So she
Oh.
said, well, usually I don't mind when my mother-in-law stops by, but she came by unannounced this morning at 8:30 a.m. And
What?
I mean, I had just woken up with the baby. She had a long night teething, so I'm talking like 3 hours of sleep. She comes
That's
in
just
and says
rude.
that my husband told her to come over and hang out for the day. She said she cleared her entire schedule to be here. I just kind
Bitch,
of shook my
unclear
head, right? I just kind of shook my head and
Busy
said, I don't
yourself.
really want to deal with the baby screaming all day long. I wish you guys had run this by me. You know I love having you here, but this whole let's force a bond bullshit is dragging me mentally. You guys should have asked me. She looked hurt and she said, It's okay, sweetie, I can go. And she left a few minutes later, but now my husband is mad at me, insisting this would have worked. Am I the asshole?
No, your husband's the asshole, and he's just salty because he's losing a fight to a 10-month-old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like this
that's it.
is.
Period! Exclamation point! End of conversation.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying divorce immediately. I'm saying sit him down and be like, "What
I'm
the fuck?"
saying, DNA test that kid.
Go through all the bases, but like I'm saying, like
Hire
sit
an
him down.
exorcist to talk to the grandma. Like,
Honestly, like sit him down, look him in the eye, and be like, what's actually going on? Like, I need you to look me in the face and tell me
Like,
what you're
are you
beefing with our
okay?
newborn daughter.
Right.
And if there's not a satisfying answer or an answer that can be fixed, slap him in the forehead with them papers.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying that they should force dad, baby, and mother-in-law to go hang out on their own.
Yeah.
So that dad can take care of the crying baby the entire time.
But I'm so sure he would have issue with that.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
And it also could be stemming from mom stressing about it. But like it's weird because even day 4, like she said that 4 days old and the baby was already screaming at the sight of mother-in-law.
Yep. There is
So-
something fundamentally
Yep.
wrong with that woman.
Mhm.
Especially judging by the fact that she's willing to forego all logic, reason, and decorum and go to somebody's house unannounced at 8:30 in the morning.
See, I'm picturing like the before image of Nanny McPhee. Like, yeah.
Oh no.
Right? Oh my god, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's just kind of sad though too at the same time that like the dad isn't more understanding. Like the fact that he's trying to force something, like maybe let someone else said maybe let mother-in-law take like the baby out on their own. Just her. So the baby can see, oh, nothing's wrong. But like it's also
Except
really
that if
hard
they
because
go
then
out in
she's
public,
forced.
strangers are absolutely going to think that that woman kidnapped that child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe like a room where like just leave mother-in-law and baby in the room.
Right? Put them in a padded room. And
Like-
yeah.
It's sad though too because like mother-in-law obviously is very sweet since she was like, I'm sorry,
Right.
sweetie, I'll go.
Like, I
seems
know
like
we're
dad is the
ragging on the
problem.
mother-in-law, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it seems like dad is just not understanding that
Yeah.
his
And also, we
baby
don't know.
is a baby.
Yeah, we don't know what that conversation with the dad looked like, or if he said like that she knew that she was coming over in the morning, like
Yeah.
to the grandma. So like, judging by the like, oh sorry, I'll leave reaction, I don't want to like fully assume and be like, oh he just didn't tell anybody what was going on to the relevant person, but like it sounds like that.
Yeah. And like I think there's definitely avenues they can take with like either giving the baby some time, maybe like a month, kind of like
Yeah.
for a break from mother-in-law, and then
Just be like, go away and come back next year.
But they're so entitled that she suggested that, and they were like, but like, if we just force the baby to be around
That
her
was
forever.
that was
No
that
good
was
ever
the
came of
husband.
forcing anybody to do anything.
Yeah. Like it seems like the husband is so pushy on it because like
Yeah.
mother-in-law's been there and that's great, but she can be there in other ways where it's not traumatizing to the baby and then also super fucking taxing on mom.
And all that screaming cannot be good for. Like, I know they scream and cry a lot, but like non-stop,
Yeah.
probably
It's
not
crazy.
healthy.
No, not at all.
Some people, man.
I know. It's
Yeah.
whack.
And there's not even many moments, like, because usually with these articles, there's like oh, well, you could have done like this one singular thing differently. I've got none of that for this one. I'm just like, yeah.
Well, and this next one, like the original poster, like super reasonable. It's not anything that crazy. The other person is just fully being a bitch.
Ah,
This is, am
this.
I the asshole for refusing to go back to my originally assigned seat on the plane?
Mm,
I was traveling today with my 19-month-old son on a 3-hour flight. My son, being under 2, has to sit on my lap, and I also had a large backpack with all of the necessities that I keep on the floor and easily accessible. It can get crowded fast, but it's just how it is when you travel alone with a young child. I got assigned a random seat, 12C, at check in, and ended up being in a row with no other empty seat. Although I appreciate it when there is an empty seat next to me, as it greatly improves our flight experience, it's not an expectation that I have, and I never ask for it at check in. Once the boarding was complete, but before takeoff, a flight attendant came up and offered us to move up 3 rows because there were 2 seats available, and they usually try to accommodate people with young infants. I was delighted and accepted right away. The flight attendant helped me move my things and explain the situation to the one other passenger in the new row. The passenger did not appreciate it at all and started complaining to the flight attendant that she was planning to sleep on the flight and that it would now be impossible. That she specifically chose that seat while checking online because the row was empty and now it's going to be a nightmare. The flight attendant simply explained that both my seats, old and new seat, are standard seats, and that the woman only paid for her own seat, and that their policy is trying to accommodate young parents if possible.
Yeah.
The woman then told me I should be ashamed to impose all this noise on people that are just trying to enjoy their flight, especially since it wasn't even my seat and I didn't even pay for it.
Oh
oh,
my
brother,
god.
this
Right?
guy stinks. Like,
Honestly, I'm not really good with confrontation. I usually end up either crying or apologizing, so I just ignored her the whole way, as if she didn't speak at all. That got her
as you
even
should.
more angry, but she finally stopped complaining after a while. My son ended up only crying once. I got some stink eye and some other rude comments, but all in all, the flight was very more comfortable for us this way, so I don't really regret switching seats. But now I wonder if I was the asshole. It's true that I didn't pay for that seat, and it wasn't my originally assigned seat.
You
Okay, I'm
know who
sorry.
else
That
didn't
baby's
pay
gonna
for that seat?
cry.
The fact that like a baby under 2 only cried once on a 3-hour
Yeah.
flight, it's
It's
pretty
crazy.
good.
And
This,
like that baby would have been disruptive in either freaking seat. And
And
probably cried less being more comfortable because mom was more comfortable.
and honestly, the kid
like,
had not, as far as I can tell, the kid had not made any noise at all before switching seats either. So
Right.
how was the person being like, "Oh, you should be ashamed for imposing all this noise on people"? It's like,
Right.
like
bro, the
what?
kid hasn't made any
Was I,
noise. Like, fuck
was I,
you.
and also was I supposed to leave my kid at home
Right.
Right.
for you, random person?
Right. Be like, that's great that you picked the seat that had no like other people in it,
Some,
but that can change in a heartbeat.
yeah, like
So
you're gonna be in a
So
space
and
with other
okay, so
people.
there's an edit to address some recurring issues, I guess, from the comments.
Mm,
So the bag that she had, the large backpack, fits under the seat, and it was there during takeoff and landing. It was on the floor the rest of the time for easy access. The kid was on her lap the whole time, as
mhm.
per the flight attendant's, um,
per policy.
like, yeah, exactly. The extra seat was just extra space to feel less crowded and not bump elbows. So the kid wasn't even taking up the extra seat.
Like,
Um, yeah.
and she did that for the comfort of other people. Like,
Yeah, right, for real.
Yeah.
and
No.
then you want to,
No. That chick who had her seat is an entitled asshole. Sorry, she
yeah,
is.
Yeah,
no. Some people wake up in the morning, uh, wipe the demon particles out of their eyes, and then look in the mirror and go, "I'm gonna be miserable. I'm gonna be vile. I'm gonna be unpleasant to be around." And
right.
then
And
they,
this comment is kind of funny. It's like the part that got me was the other passenger saying how people are trying to enjoy their flight. Who in the world gets on a commercial airline to enjoy the flight? We do it because
Right?
we
like,
have to get somewhere. You want to enjoy your flight, buy a first class ticket or a private jet.
Exactly.
Right,
yeah,
for
like,
real. I just like I flew 4 hours home for Easter and 4 hours back. It sucked. I hate it.
Yeah,
I
it's
hate
hot,
flying.
it's stuffy. Like
Right.
I
Airplane seats
she's
flew
are ridiculously small.
yeah.
this
There's
lady
you have no
has
space.
This lady has fucking first class beef
Right.
with some coach class
Mhm.
wallet. Like
Yeah.
For real. I flew shortly after, well, not shortly after COVID, but I flew while the mask mandates were still in effect. It was
Right.
horrible.
Oh,
It
I
was
can
so
imagine.
insufferable.
yeah,
Like, it was
that sounds
bad.
awful.
It was really bad. Um, and like now we're having the problems of so many airlines just canceling flights because they don't have enough people
Right.
working for the airlines anymore.
Well, and also, like, oh my God, I hate how every single flight ever is like so fully booked now because of
Yeah.
how many flights are being canceled. Because like
Hmm.
there is no chance whatsoever of any extra room on the flight at all,
Mm-mm.
and like those people that are like of a larger size go out of the way to select seats, like either the window or the aisle where the middle seat is empty, in hopes of that, like, that nobody will take it, because nobody really wants to pick a middle seat unless they absolutely have to, especially if the window and the aisle are already taken.
Hmm.
Right.
um but no, they end up getting taken anyways because like there's just no
There's
extra
just no
seats.
room.
And then also people having to check their carry-on bags because there's no room in the plane for everybody's carry-on bags.
Mm-hmm.
So people are being like basically forced to check their carry-on bags um at
Well,
boarding.
then, yeah, there's so many flights too anymore that don't allow carry-ons and only
Which is
allow like one
stupid.
personal item. It's the cheaper airlines too, so it's like Frontier and
Yeah,
Spirit.
which it's so stupid because like how you expect anybody to like go through the flight with no access to like basically anything.
Yeah.
Because like it could, and also it could be like
Well,
a 2 hour flight, or it could be like a like long 12 hour freaking flight.
Right.
Like
yeah. Well, and like that's the thing though too is that they say a personal item, but the dimensions are literally the size of a backpack. I was able to. I also
Oh
space
yeah,
bagged all of my stuff
basically
though.
you can have like one carry-on bag, a person item, which most it's like a laptop bag or a purse
See, I just
or a
take
small
my backpack.
backpack. Yeah.
I literally I took my laptop, my 17-inch
Yeah.
laptop. I was able to fit in my personal item because I made sure that the dimensions would fit in their little
Right,
thing.
exactly. Yeah.
And like, of course, they made me fucking put it in the bin and like check that it was the right size. And I was like,
Yeah.
fuck you for doing that. I literally got here doing this. This is my return flight. Like,
Right.
you're an asshole
they're
because now I'm like rushing to do this in front of people and trying to lift my like 10-pound laptop up out of this
yeah,
box,
just
which is really
because
difficult. Like, ugh.
just because you felt like feeling like Mr. Special TSA
Right.
man.
I'm really
Like
glad that you wanted to have this power trip right now, but it ain't it.
I really hope that helps you make it back home.
Right. Damn.
Honey, guess what I did today?
I stopped this girl. She had a big backpack on. I stopped her good and I made her check the size of it. Like, that's literally. Jeez. Okay, so
uh,
I have one that's like. I'd be pissed. So, am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend that he's on thin ice after comments he made about my weight?
No.
I
Dude
can't
is
see a
on thin ice.
world where you are. I can't.
Right? Boy is on
There's
the
gonna have to be
thinnest
a
of ice.
real big plot twist.
Right?
Right?
He's like, throw the whole man out, damn. Um, so last night I went over to my boyfriend's house. I was a little late just because I had to take a few attempts at finding a shirt and jeans that fit me right. When I was telling him this story, I joked about it. I could see he wasn't amused, and he tells me that me having to go what he called scavenger hunting for fitting clothes is a sign I'm
Jesus
getting fat.
Christ.
Oh my god.
I told him
I,
he needed to watch how he spoke to me. He just kept
as you
going.
should.
Said that even the shirt and jeans that I had chosen to wear were snuggish. When he saw I was angry, he put his hands on my shoulders and tells me that he loves me, but that he is not going to spend the summer watching me gain weight. I told him he was just overreacting to a harmless joke. He told me I wasn't worried about my weight enough. I warned him and told him he was on thin ice. I've dated this guy for 4 years, since we were high school freshmen, and now we're seniors, and never has he called me dumb which is what he did after I told him he was on thin ice. Am I the asshole? No, absolutely not.
Bruh. Dump that
Dump him.
man in a
Now,
fucking lake somewhere.
Murder him. What?
Yeah, right? He obviously doesn't value his life at all.
He does. That's crazy. That. Ooh.
Just
crazy.
Men.
Yeah. So, first of all, I need to know what this man looks like, because I
Right?
trust and believe, I know that this man is not all that. Like, I'm picturing.
He's not even a man. He's literally a child. They're seniors in high school.
Oh my
What?
god. Of course they are. They're fucking
I can't believe I missed that part.
Oh my god.
I
No
can't believe you missed
way.
it either.
No way are you finna be another high schooler talking. What?
That's just, first of all, the whole thing. Dude is just rude.
Right.
It's rude for no reason. And like, because these are high schoolers, I have to think that there's been more stuff than that instance. Because that's not like something that just pops up later. Like, that's something that you like laughed at the first time thinking that he was just being goofy, and then it happened a second time and you were like, oh, and then this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if he's gonna call you dumb for standing up for yourself,
Just
which
get
you
rid
shouldn't
of him.
have to be standing up to yourself to your partner, yeah, goodbye. Exit
Yeah.
stage left.
Mm-hmm.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, that's just scummy. It's gross.
Yeah.
Like, and like that's so detrimental to a teenager. Like, because
Oh, truly.
it's if she doesn't take this opportunity as like, oh, cool, I know his true colors now, which most teenagers are not going to have that kind of emotional and mental maturity. She's going to hold on to that and be like, well, fuck, what's wrong with my body?
Yeah, and it's not the fact that this child was being vile and horrible for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Ow, that hiccup hurts so bad.
You good?
No, I was like trying to hold it in, and then it happened, and then I choked on it a little bit, and it hurt.
LOL.
Don't laugh at my pain.
I will
gonna
always
your
laugh at pain.
a little bit. Just
It's like when
bit.
it's like, oh my god, and this happened at work the other day. I occasionally, actually, no, I never feel bad about it, actually. Actually, there's only one circumstance where I feel bad about it. So the other day I was taking our like cash deposit down to the bank at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And just down the hallway there was this kid like running like ahead of his parents or whatever. He fucking fell, and I started laughing my ass off.
Did they see you laughing?
I will. No, they were running like in the opposite direction for me. But I will always laugh at a child that falls on his ass. I just can't help it.
They'll be fine.
It's only funny. Time that I ever feel slightly guilty about it is if their parents are right there and they can hear or see me laughing at their kid.
So you can always play it off that you're laughing at something else because nobody knows. You could have thought of something hilarious. But also, okay, I laugh at kids falling all the time too, because most of the time they just get up and start doing it again. The only times I wouldn't is if they fall and like they actually legitimately hurt themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I would still laugh. I would feel bad about it if they fell and they were like really seriously injured. I would probably like laugh and catch myself pretty quickly, but I would definitely go to start laughing right away too.
That's fair.
Yeah, you're valid.
Yeah,
like as same thing with like my friends. Like, you know that you're good friends with somebody is like you laugh at them falling over before you offer them help up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, one of these comments on here, one of it says, high school relationships teach you who you don't want to be with and the crap they spew
Right.
at you, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one says, my daughter and her boyfriend were a couple since second grade. Never broke up, obviously never dated anyone
Oh
else.
my God.
Got married 2 years out of high school and he
Oh
immediately
no.
cheated. While I had my doubts about high school sweethearts marrying, both his parents and grandparents were high school sweethearts, so I felt he at least had good role models. Turns out his parents and
Mm.
grandparents had affairs but stayed together?
Oh
What?
my God.
Oh my
Wow.
god,
What?
gross.
Like, I had my first relationship, kind of, like, if you could even call it that, as children, but like, um when I was like 8 years old, I was in grade 3. But like, the fact that they were like together for that long, and then he cheats as soon as they get married, like, bruh.
Wow.
Like
What the fuck?
foul.
Yeah,
I wonder,
that's
like,
wild.
I wonder if he knew about, like, the previous affairs in, like, his, like, family's relationships or whatever.
It was like that's
After,
just
like,
that's
when they were
okay,
married,
and
and he
that's
was
what
like,
people do.
"Oh, we're married. Like, I can go sleep with somebody else, but now, like, because we're married, but like, we'll still stay together." That I wonder if that was the thought process in that,
And then you find out
because that's
very
insane,
quickly that that is
right?
not.
Yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
it is
And
crazy.
like, that's just like, and like, why drag somebody along for that long when you could find
Yeah.
somebody who's chill with that? Like from
Again, yeah.
like communicate about it. Like,
Especially nowadays, like, and it's insanely frustrating for those of us that do not want any part of any of those kind of relationships, like open relationships, like poly whatever kind of crap. um the amount of people that are like, oh yeah, I am like in like a polyamorous relationship, oh we're in an open relationship, blah blah blah. I'm just like, why? What is the point of being in a relationship if you're gonna have more than like more people in it? Like, bro, there's a reason why polygamy is illegal pretty much almost everywhere. Like, bro,
I
I
mean, I
don't
get it a
understand.
little bit. Like, I mean, well, like, that's just how, like, they don't understand why you're totally fine with monogamy. Just like you don't
yeah,
understand why they're fine with polyamory. It's just personal preference, you know?
It just
yeah.
doesn't, like, I just don't get it. I don't
Well, and like,
understand.
and that's the thing, like, you're not going to, I don't think. Just like they wouldn't understand the appeal of being with just one person.
Yeah. It's just
So,
annoying how many people are like around right now that like they don't want a monogamous relationship. It
I,
makes dating very difficult.
it does. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
people, men specifically, no offense,
Oh my
Lamar,
god, the
but I think a lot of
worst.
men use it as an excuse to
To sleep
sleep
around. Oh,
around.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
And it's not
sure.
even just straight men. Gay men are like that too. It's
Yeah.
No,
ridiculous.
it's literally like it's
I
bad.
just need, like, I just want a nice man that is fine with being in a monogamous relationship, that will cuddle with me and watch Disney movies and put
Mhm.
up with my shit and play games with me. That's it. That's all that I
And I
need.
feel like that shouldn't be that hard.
That's right. That's not that much to ask for.
I feel
Yeah.
like
See, I feel like I
unfortunately,
don't. Oh, go ahead.
I feel like unfortunately for men, it's like a weird like, because it should just be you find somebody that clearly and communicatively wants a like open relationship and you go with that person, but they want to either turn somebody who isn't that into that or wants to have monogamous
Yeah.
relationship and just do whatever the fuck, but like the person you're with isn't supposed to, like, you'd be pissed if they did what you're doing. um
Yeah.
and it's just weird. It's like a, it's one of the, it's just always feel, it, at least to me, felt like one of those like power things where you like
Yeah.
you feel powerful
Well,
because you're
the amount
doing
of
this
times, like,
bad thing.
Yeah.
the amount of times that I've heard of, like, people being like, and most of the times it works out this way where um, the the guy wants an open relationship because he
Oh
wants to
yeah.
sleep with another girl, and the girl does not, but agrees with it, and then just to throw it in his face, because it like, let's be real, it's way easier for a girl to go and sleep with whoever
Yeah.
than it is for a guy to find a girl willing to sleep with him. Way
Yeah.
easier the other way around.
Yeah.
And most guys don't realize that if they ask for an open relationship because they want to sleep with other people,
Then
their
it means she
partners
can
can
go
go and
sleep
sleep
with
with,
someone too.
right. They don't think
Yeah,
about
like
that the other way around.
it's
Yeah,
They're
because they're like,
thinking
too.
oh
with their
well,
downstairs head, and it's
she'll
not
be
working out very
faithful
well.
to me.
Right.
Yeah.
She won't do that. She won't partake on this either because she didn't actually want it.
Right. Exactly.
She's like,
I
And then she
I.
does
literally,
it just to put him in his place, and then he gets all
yeah,
pissy and upset. And
Yeah,
she's like,
it's
"This is
crazy.
what you asked for."
yeah,
And
be
then
like,
he's
you
like,
wanted
"Well,
this.
let's not do that then." All right, cool.
Yeah, and then I literally listened to a story about exactly that situation where um her husband was like pushing for one and she's like, no, I really don't want to. And he was like, okay, then I think we should get a divorce. And she's like, okay, 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 fine, like I'll do it. And
Right.
Yeah.
so he's like all like, hee hee, I get my way. And so she was like, you know what? Why do I have to sit here while he's over here chose somebody beforehand, like his assistant,
Oh my
Ooh.
fucking
god!
around
It's
with
always the
her?
assistant.
I know. And so she was like, then she met like this guy, like just by happenstance, starts to like connect with him, has like an emotional connection with him.
Right.
And he's like, and so she tells her husband about it. And he's like, well, I don't have an emotional connection with my assistant or anything. She's like, yeah, but you've been doing this for months, and I need to have an emotional connection to be able to be okay sleeping with someone else. So you
Right.
wanted me to do this. I'm doing it your way. I'm just
Yeah.
doing it in a way that I feel the
Yeah.
best about it. And he's like, but no. And then like it started to be to the point that like she started losing feelings for her husband and was feeling things for this other man.
See, my feelings would have gone right out the window the moment he asked for to open
Same.
marriage.
Immediately.
Same.
The instant.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm with somebody and he comes up to me and he's like, "Oh, like we should have an open relationship," I'm just like, "No, you can go have an open relationship with somebody else. That's not for me. I don't want
Yeah.
that."
See, and like the moment he already had someone in mind and immediately went to his
Yeah,
assistant, that's not
because if you
asking for an
like,
open relationship and
right,
then looking for someone who's like a good
No,
fit for
that's
both
asking
of
to
you.
justify your cheating.
that's
Exactly.
that's him going and be like, "So I'm gonna have an affair and sleep with this person, or we're gonna get a divorce unless you agree to just let me do it anyways."
Yeah. Be like,
Yeah.
you can have sex with other people too, but like, don't get attached.
It's like, I just don't understand people's way of like, I it's hard not to like, I can't say that I won't judge because it's hard not to sometimes, but um like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go up to somebody that's in an open relationship and be like, "Oh, you're wrong, like you're a terrible person, blah blah blah, etc. etc."
Right.
Like, to each their own. You do whatever you want to do with your life. I just never understood, and I don't think I ever
Mm-hmm.
will understand, and it's never gonna be something that I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
But if you want to do that, by all means, live your life. But if
It's hard when
you're
it
dating me, don't expect me to do that. Like,
right, and it's also hard because like you're in the dating scene and like it's not
and
easy dating right now. And
honestly,
then like
the
as soon
fucking
as as soon as someone says like, oh well, I like polyamory, and you're like, I don't. That's like a
Yeah.
right,
foundational thing that you have to agree on. You cannot disagree on it.
You
exactly,
can't like the disagreement means that we
yeah.
aren't doing
Are not
this.
compatible.
Like
Yeah.
And honestly, the gay scene in the like major city that's right there next to where I live
Uh-huh.
is pretty much all just about sex and just sleeping with people, and it's super super annoying
Mm-hmm.
because I could care less about sex, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
and actually, a lot of my friends, my coworkers, one of my coworkers, I was talking about this with the other day, and a lot of people have told me that like, I'm like, they find it weird that I would be totally fine in like a sexless relationship. Like if I was dating somebody that was asexual, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think that's weird.
Right. And like I don't either. But people are like, it's like how could you do that? Like I can't go like so like whatever amount of time without like having sex with someone. I'm just like, cool. Well, that's you, and I could care less.
Right. And it's like,
Yeah.
because you're there for the emotional connection, not
Exactly.
just physical. And it
Like,
Like, sure,
probably,
sex is great. I enjoy it as much as the next person, but I can live without it if I have to.
yeah.
It's not a big deal.
And like at the end of the day, that's what's going to be important in a relationship that has like the longevity is being able to
Right? Because
connect and have a
everybody's sex
connection.
life dies around like 40.
yeah, until you're not. You have to, even if you're just having sex with somebody, you have to on some level like the person.
Yeah.
If you
Not
saw the person,
necessarily. Like,
I'm sorry, if you
I know
saw,
people that like they claim that they will just go and sleep with literally whoever and that they do it. Like they will just like hook up with anything that moves basically.
I'm sure
That's
there are
wild.
many times, even for those people, that somebody like said something or did
And
something, then they
like
were like, "I'm good."
I'm not about one night stands. I've had a couple in my life, mostly when I was just like extra stressed, but um not for the most part. Like it's just not my scene. Can't do it.
Yeah. There you are.
You're back.
Oh,
You
there
went a
you are.
little robot for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, everything went very silent, and I was like, "All right." Anyways, I'm
But yeah,
alive.
like that's I have to have like an emotional or like an intellectual connection with
Yeah,
someone to like be attracted to them in any way.
Yeah,
So yeah,
right. And
but
that's
at
the
least at the
thing.
very
It's
least, like have
literally
things
called
in
being
common.
demisexual.
yeah,
It's a legit thing that most people are actually.
yeah,
But I don't know. This is whatever. Y'all, you live your best life and do
yeah.
you.
Let your
But
freak flag fly.
right.
Exactly.
Just don't go forcing things on other people that they're not interested in. And if
Yeah.
you're in a relationship with somebody and you want to open it up, you better make sure that they're actually fine with that first, or you're gonna
Yeah,
regret it.
It
communication is key.
it's just so dumb because like that's still like even if you start strictly monogamous, that is something y'all should talk about.
Yeah.
Like if that's something you ever want to do, so that
Mm-hmm.
one person doesn't say like I want an open
Yeah.
relationship, which translates in that person's brain to you're not good enough anymore.
Yeah,
Like
Right. That's exactly what I would feel like, honestly, if I was with somebody and they came up to me and asked to like have an open relationship. Be like, cool. So like either you just don't like me anymore, or like you don't find me attractive anymore, or like
all bad
I'm just not enough
options.
for
yeah,
you. So you should go find someone else. Like, yeah,
yeah,
Or however many people you need to, apparently.
exactly. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy,
they do be
crazy
wild.
world we live in.
Mm-hmm. I just
Mhm.
think the
But
most important thing always is communication. Always.
right, 100%.
I think that there are a lot of people that like have meaningful relationships um with polyamory, but like there is
I'm sure
always
there are.
there is always like those people that are, just trying to throw their thing everywhere and
Yeah,
using that as a way to do it.
Yeah.
Um which sucks because like I think you can have a deep connection to more than one person.
Mm-hmm.
Um I'm just fully admitting it, I get very jealous. I'm very like insecure, and
right.
it's a me
Yeah. Oh,
problem, not
same,
a
100%.
you problem. But like it's just like I've had people on the drop of a dime be like, just not anymore for no reason. Bye
Yeah.
forever. I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Um,
Yeah.
like
I don't know. People are crazy.
They
people
are.
do be crazy,
Yeah.
which means that you should start swinging on people.
Just start throwing fists.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
a
sure,
joke.
for sure. Unless you actually bother me, and then for legal reasons, who knows?
It's a wild world out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, things be happening.
Anyways, guys, that's about wrap up time for us this week.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure to come back next week and check out our previous episodes if you haven't already. They're all up
Yeah.
on our YouTube and Spotify. And make sure you drop us a follow on our Instagram and TikTok. And you can find us on Twitch.
Links below.
I stream on Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays. Serafina streams on Tuesday, Thursday,
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday, and Sunday.
And I will blow through the wind
Lamar's
enigmatically
around.
through
He plays
all of
games with us.
time across different planes.
You can catch him in our chats, and you can catch us on our other socials, and we will catch you on the flip flops.
On
Yep.
the flippity floppities.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Bye now.
Bye bye.
Drink water.